Hi, and welcome to class. Today is a stretching class for athletes. So if you run, swim, do gymnastics, mixed martial arts, pretty much anything, this class is for you because we're going to open up some new lines of tension in your back, in your side body, in your legs, and in your hips in a very interesting way. We're going to stretch into the fascia. Basically, I'd say this is kind of like a myofascia integrated stretching class, and it's going to be quite interesting to find that new space within your being. And it's going to be a maybe interesting way for you to touch your toes by the end of the class. So let's get to it. If you're an athlete, you know the game. You know how tight your body gets. You know how tight your all your joints get, and well, it comes with the effort that you put in. So what we're going to do is you're going to find yourself onto your chest, and you're going to take your right hand into a 45. Hopefully, these stretches ease all that effort that you've been working on. So the right hand goes to a 45, then you bend your left foot. You can bring your left hand sorry, your left hand like a kickstand. You bend your left foot, and then you take your left foot over your right side. So if you notice, my right hand is in a 45, it's pressing into the ground. My right shoulder is pressing into the ground. The left hand is a kickstand. Left foot peels open, and then the right foot comes to match it. It's not required. So if this is a bit tight and you want to be somewhere here, perfectly fine. Otherwise, if the right foot comes to match it, that's fantastic. Now here we're going to keep the right shoulder active and keep the right hand active. And we're going to press them down. And here's the interesting part. You're going to take the left hand and you're going to reach it to the back of the mat. So your right hand is pulling up towards the front of the mat in a 45-degree angle, and your left hand is pulling to the back of the mat. Now your left leg, I know it gets a little confusing when you're so pretzeled up, but your left leg is going to move left, your right leg is going to match it to the best of your ability as your left hand reaches to the back of the mat. So there's so much going on. Press your feet into the ground as you stretch in two different directions, and your legs are moving into another direction while your legs are pressing into the ground. Your knees are peeling open. Find your breath. Use your hands to pull and stretch and open up new space. Finding length, finding connection. Try and pull a bit more as you breathe. You can add a bit of activation in the fingers, and then you can be passive on the exhale. So inhale, pull. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, pull. Exhale, let it go. Feel like you're getting a bit taller, a bit longer for a few more breaths. Turn the knees a bit more open, and then let that go. Gently come out of it. Oh, come back to your stomach. Oh, okay. Bring your right hand back in. Maybe you feel like you have a brand new right hand. It usually happens to me every time I stretch. You don't have to move. I'm just moving so that you could see me a bit better. We're going to move to the left side. So the work is the same. If I rush through the first one, I apologize for that. We'll go a bit slow on this one. So take your left hand out to 45. When I say 45, it's kind of like the corner of the mat. If you're rolling over your shoulder, you're too far. And if the hand is, a bit caught up, you're too close. So you want it somewhere in between. So press the left fingertips into the ground, press the left shoulder into the ground. So you have this activation to start with. Use your right hand as a kickstand and to press into the ground. So the left hand is pressing, the right hand is pressing. Bend the right foot, take it over, and then maybe the left leg comes to meet it. Maybe. Not required in the slightest, but maybe it comes over and it meets it. Now, as you press the left hand and left shoulder into the ground, take the right hand to the bottom part of the mat and turn your knees over to the right side. I mean, when you twist it up, left and right is a little confusing, but to me, the right foot is moving right now. That's a lot of rights. And your right hand is reaching to the bottom of the mat. So find that length, find that activation, find that counter stretch. So the left shoulder is pressing down and the left fingers are peeling you out while the right hand is trying to pull to the bottom of the mat. Press the feet into the ground. Drop the knees to the opposing side. Find that length as you breathe and stretch. Very active, very alive. A lot of space to be found. And then let it go. Oh, gently come back. Bring the right hand in. Oh. And come on to your hands and knees. Just take a moment in between. Feel that space. You know, roll the shoulders out. The stretch is quite interesting because, it's opening up so much of tension that's locked in the shoulders, and you're also pulling in a cross-diagonal way while opening the knees out. If you feel you want to do this again, go for it. Take it. Don't worry about breaking the flow in any way. You can pause the video. You can try it again. You can take it. Or you can always come back to this and notice how your stretch improves every time you come to this class, and notice how you get a bit deeper. So this time, we're going to come to our hands and knees. Take your knees to a point that feels comfortable. Take your right hand, press the knife edge of the hand down. So it's kind of like a karate chopping the mat, and the knife edge of the hand is down. The thumb goes up. Take your left hand further back and try to scooch your feet back. So the idea here is I'm trying to get my armpit closer to the ground. So as my armpit gets closer to the ground, I pull back. So you notice my right hand isn't moving. My right hand is in place. However, because of the traction in the hand is pressing down, and my armpit is going closer to the ground as I pull back and twist my chest over to the left side. So I'm trying to look up to the sky as I twist, and here start to add a bit of motion. And I just realized I forgot to mention about the bolster. If you need a bolster or some object, just keep it by your side in case you want something to be a bit more comfortable at any point in your practice, or maybe towards the end. I know this is not the right time to go and get a bolster, but the idea just popped into my mind. I just got a glimpse of my bolster at the side. So here what we're doing is we're trying to stretch into the fascia. We're trying to stretch into the skin more than stretching into the muscles. So as you pull back, feel that line of tension from your right pinky all the way down to your right hip. As you press and twist and turn. So the space that we're creating is more into the skin, and that gives the muscles more space to move. It's kind of like the skin is your bodysuit, right? The more space you can find as you twist and pull back, the more space you'll have for the muscles to expand and do their thing. So find your breath as you're here, and then let that go. Oh, wow. Oh, I feel like 2 inches taller in my right side. Maybe you do too. Move the shoulder around, readjust. And like I was saying, it's all in the skin. You're trying to get a long line of tension rather than compressing in one specific part, because usually when we do muscular stretching, we have a tendency of closing a specific part in the body, and that's what we're trying to avoid today. We're trying to get the stretch from the tip of the toes or the tip of the fingers all the way down. So when you're twisting and turning, you want to be able to feel the stretch in a long line in your body rather than an isolated place. So let's go to the left side. Take your left hand, karate chop the mat, pull the elbow back, pull the armpit back, walk your knees and toes back, press your right hand down, and then you pull you pull back as far as you can. So your left elbow, your left armpit is getting close to the ground as you pull into your lats, your latimus dorsi. You're pressing the fingertips down and you're turning your chest over the right shoulder and you're moving a little left and right. So create that space. Take your time with moving. And you notice my left hand isn't scooching because I'm pressing down. I have this traction going on in the mat and I'm pulling back and moving side to side as I find my breath, as I breathe into the space. Notice if that twist as you turn over your right shoulder starts to open up new territory. Come back to your breath. Find a sense of ease in this interesting stretch. Feel that calibration coming. Can you feel the skin under your armpit starting to open up and in turn giving your shoulder a bit more space to move? Come back to your breath. Twist a bit more and then let that go. Wow. Oh, have a seat. Maybe roll just the left shoulder forward and back. I hope you're starting to feel the connection in your skin. So there's less of a focus on getting super long. Move your right shoulder. It's less of a focus on trying to pinch a certain area or overstretch. We're trying to feel a long line of tension. Your entire fascia is moving and stretching. Notice how much space you've got into your shoulders as you move. So now we're going to come to our last stretch, and this one's going to be a bit of a doozy. I'm trying to figure out how to show you this stretch. Okay, I'm going to show it from one angle the first time, and then I'm going to show it from the second angle and the other way. So, maybe you'll see it better in with the second angle. So, take your left shin is facing the left side of the mat. So I know my back is facing you, but just kind of figure out how your left hip can face the front of the mat while your left shin is facing the left side of the mat. All right. So the idea is you're going to find yourself into a 90-90. Your legs are going to come into a 90-90 pose. And you're going to turn over your left hip and find some space over here. So this is a wonderful place to be. In case if this is your tightest spot, you can always take the bolster or your pillow or something and, lean into it, make the space, press the feet down. So I'm pressing my knees down, pressing the hip down, and finding that space as I press. So you feel the length in the fascia and the side body, and you can always, take your leg out. Otherwise, actually, you know what? We'll do it this way. So here the idea is that this could be pretty much enough. All right. The other option is you can take your right foot, place it on top of your left foot. So it's on top of your left knee. And once you're here, come onto your left elbow and then press your right knee back with your right hand. So like I said, you have a couple of options, couple of ideas, couple of ways to play. And this is step 2. So step 1 would be kind of easy-ish. Step 2 would be interesting. And press the right hip back, opening up that space. You can press and move, opening up space in the hip. And then when that feels good, you can linger a bit longer, or if that feels good, press the right knee back and take your right hand to the front of the mat. So the right hand is reaching forward while the right knee is pressing back. So the left hand is pressing down, right hand is reaching out, right knee is pressing back as you find your breath. Very active. Use your right fingertips to pull you out. Press the right foot into the ground. Press the knee back. Find a deep breath. I know this is intense, but try and breathe. Press the feet away. Pull the hand out. Keep at it just a bit more. And then let that go. Come back up. Have a seat, but don't move the feet. Maybe you can slide the foot a little bit more, opening up the hip. Maybe you start working into a double pigeon. You can use the hand. It does not have to go all the way down. We're working more for sensation than we are working for aesthetics. So flex your right toes. Use your right hand to press down. Maybe you feel something interesting in the right hip. Maybe your left hip flexor is stuck in you. Keep the toes flexed and just bounce a little bit. Bounce a little bit. And let that go. If you found your deepest double pigeon, stay in it. Take your time, breathe into it. Again, this class is a reference, it's just to give you some ideas of how you could stretch. And if it works, fantastic, take these stretches with you. However, if you do find something interesting, stay. Because sometimes certain movements that we do in our sports makes our hips pretty tight, or, some parts of our body get pretty tight. So take this time to stretch into it. So let's switch sides. My right shin is going to be in front. So just like I showed you the first time, you can turn over your right hip. So make sure your right shin is facing the right side of the mat. Your right hip is facing the front of the mat. And you could be down here. This could be a wonderful place. So the same idea, you can take the leg on top, or you could do the stretch in this position as well. So you can be in your 90-90, and you can take the left hand and you can stretch. However, if you have a bit more space, take your left foot over your right knee, come onto your right elbow, take the left hand and press into the knee. So you're creating a bit of action. So your chest is going to the front of the mat, your knee is going to the back of the mat. Notice what that feels like. Pressing the foot into the ground, finding a line of tension. And then if that feels okay, keep the knee pressing backwards while you take the left hand forward and you reach in two different directions. Your knee reaches to the back of the room, your hand reaches to the front. Feeling that line of tension, pressing your right hand down, adjusting it wherever you feel good. Come back to your breath, pressing the left foot down, pressing the left knee back, extending with your left hand as you breathe. Finding space, reaching, adjusting, breathing. Almost done. Few more inches or centimeters. Take it, pull, push, and then let the hand go. Keep the feet where they are and start to work into your double pigeon. So keep the toes flexed, and maybe you start feeling a deeper line in your hip. Again, it doesn't have to be aesthetically pleasing. Your left foot can be, a mile off the right foot. It's perfectly okay. Maybe you're flat down. If you're a gymnast, you definitely have more space. But if you are a power lifter or someone who, adds a lot of control in your hips, this could be quite intense. So depending on which sport you're in, even if you're a footballer, this could be quite intense. So depending on what sports you play, everything is going to change depending on that. So give yourself the time and grace to kind of work into it. And notice every time you come back to these, how does it change? And then let that go. Let the legs go, shake them out. We'll take one last variation of the stretch that will combine all the elements that we did, where you're going to work into your hips, your twists, and the shoulder reach. So, I'm going to show you, like I said the first time, I'm going to show you from one side, and then the next time we do it, I'm going to switch to the other side. Since you're familiar with the 90-90, my left shin faces the left side of the mat. You come into your 90-90 and you turn over your left hip. You can keep the bolster ready as you need. It doesn't really have to be anywhere specific, but it's just an option for you. So come onto your elbows, and this time take your right hand, weave it through the window under your left hand, come onto your right shoulder. Now this could be plenty. You don't need to do anything more. You could be pressing your left knee into the ground, pressing your right knee into the ground, pressing the right shoulder into the ground, and you can keep this active as you try and twist. Otherwise, if you want to go deeper, take your left hand, catch your right hand, and then peel and twist. So I'm trying to make space as I look over my left shoulder. So I'm twisting and peeling and moving, finding my breath along the way. Notice how that shows up for you. And while I do them, I'm pressing my left knee and my right knee into the ground, creating that line of tension. Notice when you press the left and right knee into the ground, do you find more territory? Do you find more territory in your stretch? Maybe you feel a bit of a stretch in your neck. Breathe into it. Open up, peel, open, almost done. Find your breath while you're here. And let that go. Take your time coming out of it. That was a deep, deep, deep stretch. Oh, wonderful. All you got to do is switch sides. So turn over your right side. Give a little switcheroo with the feet. So your right shin is facing the right side of the mat, and your right hip, you're able to turn over the right hip. So you'll maybe see it from a different perspective here. I'm going to turn over my right hip, come onto my elbows, and here I'm going to press my knees into the ground. So my knees and hips are active. And while my knees are pressing into the ground, my left hand weaves through the window. Again, you could be here and keep experimenting and finding that space as you press and try to adjust your side body. Otherwise, take your left hand down, weave it through the window. Now, take your right hand. Again, this could be a lovely place to find that stretch. If you want to go deeper, take your right hand, press into your left hand, and try and peel open. So as you can see, my right knee and left knee are pressing into the ground. My hips are active. As I twist and turn and breathe and find that spaciousness. Turning over my right shoulder, pulling my left hand a bit out, opening up that space. And I do realize it's quite intense to breathe, but try and find your breath while you're here. Try and find your breath. Keep pulling, adjusting, very active stretch. Feel the fascia in your stomach, in under your shoulders, in your upper back, in your hip. The entire body is stretching and moving as you breathe. And then let that go. Oh, take your time. That was a deep one. Oh, welcome to the pretzel life. I've been making everyone into pretzels since a while now, so it's a fun expression, fun place to be. Roll the shoulders, move things around. Maybe you want to just take a little windshield wiper, 90-90 drops with the feet, opening things up, and let's take one symmetrical pose to close. And this one might actually surprise you. So if you have a bolster, if you have something interesting, instead of sitting on it, take it in front. Take your legs. I'll come at an angle to show you. Take your legs on top of the bolster or whatever object you have, press the heels down, pull the toes back. So when you do this, you activate your quads, you lengthen the hamstring, and start to peel yourself forward. And maybe you catch something. Maybe you catch your heels, maybe you catch your toes, maybe your head even comes all the way down to your knees. Usually, when I teach this kind of stretching, people are so surprised on how deep they're able to go because even if you've had training as a child, as a gymnast, as martial artist, or any kind of sport, and you've left it for a while, and you come back to this kind of stretching, the body finds so much more space. So maybe instead of catching the toes, catch the sides of your legs, press your heels down, activate your quads so the quads are nice and alive, the toes are pulling back and lean in, bounce around. Maybe you even want to catch the bolster and pull yourself in. You can even, take your feet up on a chair or your couch and try that. Wherever you feel like you have a bit more space. And if you thought you couldn't touch your toes, well, maybe you were not expecting to be able to catch the bottoms of your feet. Notice that line of tension in your lower back, in the skin. I hope by now you can feel the skin talking to you. I hope you can feel that space building. Take about 3 breaths just for you. Keep the toes pulled in, flexed, heels pressing down. Fill up your skin in your upper back with your breath. Exhale, fall into it. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, go deeper, pull yourself in. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, go in. You could stay, pause the video, and just stay here as long as you need. Otherwise, roll yourself up if you're done. Take your hands behind you. Find yourself into a reverse tabletop, opening up the front line of the body. Maybe you want to move front and back. Notice if your knees start to get closer to the ground. You might surprise yourself with the amount of space you have in your shoulders. Maybe you sit onto your heels as you stretch your shoulders and push your hips up. And let that go. You're always welcome to lay down and take a break if you've had enough. Otherwise, maybe you feel alive. Maybe you feel like a sense of energy coming into the body, because when the skin fills up with space and breath, you start to notice that you want to move, you want to play. Maybe you want to get back to your sport. This is a really nice stretching class to come to either before or after your practice, or something to just to add in that creative seed to help you along your journey. Stretching is one of the best ways to improve flexibility as well as reduce any chances of injury. It's something that you're very familiar with, but we all need a little more stretching in our lives. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know how it went for you. I'd love to know if this kind of class resonated with you, and if there's anything you would like me to add on this platform to improve the stuff you do on a daily basis. So thank you so much for practicing with me. My name is Varun. I wish you a wonderful day. Peace.